Hello again, welcome to the video, and in this weekend's video we're going to look at two more objects from last week's sale. So I'm just editing the whole video together now, and I've noticed this gross piece of food in my teeth. Spoiler alert, it does disappear, so bear with it and I apologise. And as is usual now, we're going to be showing the object, talking about them, and also looking at the auctioneering all in one video, so to wrap it up for you all in one episode. Now I'm actually recording this part of the video on Wednesday, way in advance of the Saturday. Now the reason is today is the baby's due date, 20th of March. He should be here today, evidently is not, that's why I'm sat here recording a YouTube video. Now Jamie had a premonition that he's going to come tomorrow at 2 AM in the morning. I'm going to be woken up by Sally going into labour. So fingers crossed Jamie's premonition is going to come true, and by the time you're all watching this video, he'll be here with us. That's the hope, that's the aim. So how does this all fit inside a family auction house? Well, obviously I'm perhaps not going to be around for this next sale, on Monday's sale in fact, so we've got in some extra staff to help, and we're actually changing this sale start time to 10:30. So if you come into, so you're watching this Saturday, if you come into Monday's sale, the sale will start at 10:30. We have extra staff. This is all to make allowances for the fact that I might not be there for this sale. That'd be quite weird. It's going to be the first sale since, God, it must be 15 years that I've not been in attendance of, so that's going to be a strange feeling, but hopefully we're still going to document the whole thing for you guys that watch this channel. So yeah, that's how it's affected things. That's what we're focusing on at the moment. But anyway, let's head in and look at these two objects. So please forgive this rather patriotic backdrop, and it's not the Union flag that we're discussing, it's this artist's easel, and it's Victorian in period, late 19th century, and the maker is Lechertier Barbe and Co. There's actually a brass maker's plaque on the back, which is nice to have, which shows their Regent Street property. Now it's made of beech and pine, everything's still there, and this part even works, this adjuster there. So that's nice, it's in good condition. And obviously it's got a multitude of applications. If you were an artist, you could obviously use it for its original intended purpose. Or at home you could use it to display a painting, of course. Now what's really great about this easel in particular is its provenance. And it comes from a picture restorer who works on a lot of the paintings of the Welbeck estate in the Portland collection. So this easel will have literally had millions of pounds worth of paintings stood upon its stand there. So a great provenance and a great item, in good condition but heavily worn. You can see just down there on the stand, this part there is heavily worn. Obviously somebody over the years has rested a foot on there when they're either painting or in fact restoring paintings. So absolutely oozing with charm and character and interest, a really good thing. I think it's going to make 150 to 250 pounds in the auction. Let's have a look. Lot 355 now is the Victorian, it's the beech and pine adjustable artist easel, maker's plaque on the back. Internet bid is at 65.70 with bids at 65, 75, 80, 5, 90, 5, 100, 110, 120, 130, at 120 back of the room, 130, 140, at 130, 140, 150. Internet's back in. 160. 170. At 160 then, 170 we're looking for. And watch out for that yellow box there, I've showed you that before. We'll zoom in there. That shows someone at home is thinking about bidding. So they've got the cursor on there. Usually that materialises into a bid. Bids at 160 in the room, looking for 170, 180. So that does help us. It does help us to slow down and make sure we're not missing any online. At 170 online, looking for 180 now. Internet bids at 170 now, 180 with you. At 170, all done and show for £170. Internet. So just below the bottom estimate there, so pretty happy with that. It was a really good thing, and I'm sure the buyer's going to be pleased with that. But also that feature what I showed you on the auctioneer screen, that yellow flash button, that really does help Jamie and me to make sure that we don't miss any bids. You'll have heard us both calling out all the time that internet bidders too slow, you've missed out on that one. Any bids after the gavel won't be taken. And I've had a few times, not internet bidders obviously, but a few people really appreciate that we do that we don't reopen the lot once the gavel's gone down. Some auction rooms I do think do that to try and maximise, but you've got to draw the line somewhere. That's what the gavel should signify, that the lot has been sold. And I mean, sometimes we do make mistakes, somebody's bidding and you don't see them, and I think in that instance it's okay to reopen the auction because we've made a mistake. But if somebody's bidding online, they've been pre-warned that there is a 2-second delay, there's a bit of latency there, so whatever you see or hear happening online has actually happened 2 seconds ago. You've been warned of that. So if the bidding comes in after the gavel, it's the bidder's fault. So of course the lot shouldn't be reopened. So that is definitely a word of warning for you. If you're bidding online, I've done it myself. I've tried online bidding. You've really got to get in there quick because, as I say, there is that 2-second latency. Anyway, let's have a look at the next lot. The final lot we're going to look at today is a World War I bronze memorial plaque. Now they're known in the trade as death plaques, death pennies, or the dead man's penny. They were issued by the British government to any personnel killed as a result of war to their next of kin. Now, they're not particularly rare. There were 1.3 million issued, which really goes to show the loss of life in that campaign. A total of 450 tons of bronze. They were designed by the medalist Edward Carter Preston. Each memorial plaque is inscribed with the name of the person who is in memory of. And it was decided that they shouldn't include any rank because there should really be no distinction made between sacrifice. Now, this one in question is for Frank Purcell. So that's inscribed there on that little square. So his next of kin would have received this after the war in commemoration of what Frank did. And this example really has been treasured. It comes with its original card sleeve. It would have come wrapped up in that. So it makes a really good thing to keep it in, keeps that bronze safe. It comes with this letter as well from Frank's sergeant, it says there, "Dear Mr. Purcell," so I assume it was written to his father, next of kin. Also included is this scroll, which tells us there that Private Frank Purcell, York and Lancaster Regiment. And there's also another scroll which is signed in facsimile by the King from Buckingham Palace. "I join with my grateful people in sending you this memorial of a brave life given for others in the Great War." And the final piece of ephemera is from a local newspaper, which actually pictures Frank there, along with other comrades there. Frank Purcell, 1st York and Lancaster Regiment of Barnsley Road, Sheffield, killed in action in Flanders. So I've sort of singled this one out. We've never talked about one of these memorial plaques before. This one in particular comes with all that extra ephemera, which really fills out this story about Private Purcell, which helps us to remember this soldier. And it is awful having to talk about price, but that's primarily what this YouTube channel's all about. And people do buy them, people collect them. At some stage somebody might actually be able to match these up with Frank's medals. And I think what collectors enjoy doing is tracking down a soldier's history. So with his name and the other details in that ephemera, they'll be able to find out a lot more information about what Frank did during the war. So this should probably make between 60 and 80 pounds. Lot 510 is the World War I death plaque and letter pertaining to the death of Private Frank Purcell of the York and Lancaster Regiment. The internet bids at £130, looking for 140. Any interest in the room at 130 online, 140 with you. All done and sure then, straight in and out. All the interest is pre-sale at 130 and away. So at £130, that's beat the estimate completely, which is good. I'm always happy when that happens. But I mean, it's never really good to think about this type of lot in financial terms, but I mean, it's obviously gone somewhere to a collector, or it's gone to a dealer, then to a collector, somebody that's really going to appreciate it, and that's really what's important. But there again, we saw, as we did in the last episode, where all the bidding's been done pre-sale online. So this thing of competitive bidding, where somebody can put a bid online, somebody else goes in, and another person, until it reaches a level where nobody else is willing to bid online, and that eventually happens in the sale room as well. Nobody's willing to beat that price, so all the bidding's been done pre-sale. So Jamie and I are really just reading numbers out, so it's not as satisfying as an auctioneer. It's more efficient, as we said. It's not satisfying as an auctioneer, and it's not a great thing to watch either. But I mean, as long as we get there in the end, I suppose it doesn't really matter how you sell the thing as long as you do. So that was it for this week. That was 2 more items, so we'll see what happens with the new arrival. Hopefully I'll find a way to be able to get there on at the viewing day. If he's not arrived yet, that should be easy, but if he has, I don't know how I'll manage it, but hopefully I'm going to be able to get something for the next series of videos for you to watch. But please, forgive me if I miss out on a video, but I'll certainly be back as soon as possible to get videos to you every Saturday. So hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you've not done so already, do subscribe to this channel. Videos every Saturday where we can. Leave a like and have a good week. I'll see you soon.